It's a question that's been asked as long as I can remember. It dominates the commentary during seasons and off seasons. Whenever there's a chance to talk about it, we talk about it. Who is best, or rather, which is best? Today we're looking at the best possible quarterback numbers, and we're going to decide once and for all which one it is. At number 1, we have the number 1 because this isn't a ranked list and 1 is the first number. Warren Moon and Cam Newton do the number justice, both having won NFL MVP awards. Apparently the number 2 isn't too popular outside of Boston College, and even then they don't wear it whilst in college. Matt Ryan and Doug Flutie both represented the number in the NFL, and although Flutie maybe shined more as a 7, it was as a number 2 with the Patriots that he scored that dropkick field goal. If you haven't seen it, you should look it up. For number 3, we have the current Carson Palmer and Russell Wilson. Wilson has been to 2 Super Bowls, winning 1. The current Palmer could still go at some point. Number 4 is reserved for Brett Favre, and to make it fun, he played for 4 teams wearing 4. Sure, you could mention Jim Harbaugh or current come-up kids like Carr or Prescott, but those guys pale in comparison to NFL history's only 3-time consecutive MVP, Super Bowl winner and Hall of Famer, the Gunslinger. Number 5's not bad. Donovan McNabb took the Eagles to the Super Bowl, losing by 3 to the Patriots, and Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. Number 6 only needs one representative, Jay Cutler, a post-season legend. Once he's made it into the playoffs, he's gone to the NFC Championship game 100% of the time and has only ever lost to the eventual Super Bowl champions. Just ignore the fact he's only been to the playoffs once. Number 7 represents our first real contestant for the best quarterback number of all time. John Elway, Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Theismann, Boomer Esiason, Mike Vick. A bunch of good players and a whole bunch of Super Bowls. 8's got some pretty good players. Troy Aikman and Steve Young make it 4 Super Bowls, and Matt Hasselbeck adds a title game appearance. And also the NFL's dad, Archie Manning, wore number 8 when he played for the Saints. The 9s tend to face tall tasks when it comes to their teams and playoff aspirations. Drew Brees won a Super Bowl for the Saints and Steve McNair took the Titans to 1. We also have Bengals' Carson Palmer, Tony Romo, and Mr. 2-Minute Drill Matthew Stafford. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. 2 number 10s, 5 Super Bowl appearances, and we have devolved into complete lunacy in this video. FRAN Tarkenton scrambled his way into the record books, and Eli Manning sometimes wins Super Bowls in between his full-time job of throwing more interceptions than touchdowns in a season. Alright, so he only did that twice and once was in 7 games as a rookie. It's a joke. The jersey number 11 has a personality. If you wear the number 11 as a quarterback, you can't be bigger than the team, even if you were a first overall pick. Bledsoe exemplified that during his time with the Patriots and his ceding of the starting job to Tom Brady. Alex Smith isn't bigger than the Chiefs either, and Phil Simms was never bigger than the Giants, who he won 2 Super Bowls with. Norm Van Brocklin still holds the record for most pass yards in a single game, and also he wore the number 25 at one point. Well, we got to number 12, so it's all over now. No point going on, we've reached the peak. Tom Brady, Jim Kelly, Joe Namath, Terry Bradshaw, Roger Staubach, Ken Stabler, Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck. 12 accounts for over 25% of all Super Bowl wins in NFL history with 13. 6 NFL MVP awards and 42 Pro Bowls. In terms of appearances, the Super Bowl has been represented by the number 12 just under 50% of the time in NFL history. There's no way you can argue there's a better number. 13 is short and sweet. Dan Marino and Kurt Warner. That's a heck of a legacy. 14 is quite well represented. Dan Fouts, Otto Graham, Steve Grogan, and NFL MVP Ken Anderson. Today's representative is of course Andy Dalton, but more importantly, Otto Graham holds the honour of being the one guy I could find a picture of wearing a number over 60. 15. Who wears 15? Bart Starr, that's who. Sure, there are other guys too, even Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, but who cares when you have the MVP of the first 2 Super Bowls in NFL history? Number 16 is strong. Very strong. 7 Super Bowls is good for over 1/10 of all Super Bowl wins, and Joe Montana could carry this number alone and put it into competition with 12. But Jim Plunkett, Len Dawson, and George Blanda make it a real competition. Blanda also wore number 22 for the Bears. 17 still seems like an odd quarterback number, much like 15, but it's well represented. Dandy Don Meredith leads a pack that includes Phillip Rivers, Dave Krieg, and Doug Williams, and Tannehill wears the number 2. Thanks to Dave Krieg and Steve DeBerg, the number is represented by 11 teams just between the 2 of them. Number 18 is famous for a good reason. Roman Gabriel was the first Asian American to start at quarterback in the NFL, and he won league MVP in 1969. Oh, and Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks of all time who won 5 league MVPs and owns about every passing record you can think of, wore it too. Not bad, 18. 19 is here for one reason, and it's Johnny Unitas. Off his back alone, the number carries 3 league MVPs and a Super Bowl, but Bernie Kosar chipped in a bit of legacy and apparently wore the number because of Johnny U. Oh, and some guy called Joe Montana who played for the Chiefs for like only 2 years wore it as well. We can't finish without bringing up Joe Hadle, an actual starting quarterback who went to 6 Pro Bowls that wore the number 21 full time. Did he not get the memo? And that completes my list of quarterback numbers and who wore them. Remember, this is a science, so if you want to be a good quarterback, wear the number 12, or 16, or 7. Actually, 11's not bad. I guess 12 could work. 8 wouldn't be the worst. 13 works for the right people. I mean, even 14 does a job.